morning, everyone. Good morning, boys and girls. So, today before we start talking about this unit, the last unit, I'm going to give you this. Stay home, stay safe, and save lives. Of course, I think you got the idea, you got what I mean. As you know, today the world is suffering from a very dangerous disease. Okay? And we know that the key to face this disease and to get over it is to do this, to stay home. So, when you stay home, you're going to be safe. When you are going to be safe, you're going to save other people's lives. It is time to think about what is important and what is good for all humanity and forget about everything else. Because today, we need to stand together in order to get over this crisis. But there is another thing. Okay? They say that in order to be more healthy or to be healthier, you need to be positive and think about what is good. Okay, of course you need to do this, you need to stay home. And of course you need to be positive too. Okay, because it's about having, as some positivity which is going to make us, go through this. Okay, so please remember this, stay home in order to be safe, and we are going to save our lives and other people's lives. And actually, this last unit is a little bit related to, being safe and saving lives and all this. But before talking about the unit itself, I'm going to mention, what Michael Jackson once said in his song, "You're not alone. You are not alone." By Michael Jackson. Who said, "You're not alone, for I am here with you. Though you're far away, I am here to stay." Okay? So this song is about the fact that people are not alone, and people must not feel like they are alone, and must stand together and be together. And even sometimes it seems like everyone is far away, and it seems like things are, a little bit rough. But the key to succeed, the key to get over all this is to stand together. So sometimes think that someone is not alone, or someone is alone when they are far away. But like what is said in here, though you're far away, I'm here to stay. So this is going to lead us into something else, another thing that is also related to our unit. This time I'm not going to mention what ثانية said in one of the songs, so I'm going to mention a poet. The poet is John Donne. John Donne. Remember this name. John Donne is one of poets and the most famous poets that care about humanity. Okay? He said a nice saying, a nice quotation. It goes like this: any man's death diminishes me. Okay? Any man's death diminishes me. Why? Because I am involved in what? In mankind. It's actually really beautiful. Can't you see? It's really, it's amazing actually. Any man's death diminishes me. Okay? Diminishes me. Because I am involved in mankind. Means I belong to mankind. Mankind means people. Me, everyone else, we are like one person. Okay? And it is wrong, it is bad to think that we are, separated. Because once we start thinking that we are one person, everything else is going to be better. Okay, so I need you to really feel this. Okay? I need you to remember this. I need you to keep thinking about this. Because this is a lot related to our unity. Any man's death diminishes me because I'm involved in mankind. And actually, John Donne, said another good saying, good expression. And it is actually the title of our unit. He said, "No man is an island." Okay? No man is an island. I know that you are right now wondering, what does this mean? Okay? What is the relation between a man and an island? A man is a man, an island is an island. Okay? But if you think about it, this is somehow a metaphor. And in order to figure this out, we should know the characteristic quality of an island. Of course you know what an island is, right? So, an island can be a piece of land surrounded by water, okay? Island. And I want to ask you this question. What is the most important quality or characteristic of an island? So, some of you might say it's abandoned. Okay, abandoned. Or it's far away. Or you could say it's isolated. Okay? All of these answers are actually correct. Okay? And all of these characteristics, are meant to be or to be said by John Donne. He actually is saying that no man is abandoned, no man is isolated, and no man is far. Or no man is alone to sin. Okay? So this is actually the meaning of the title of the unit. No man is an island. Okay, so unit 6. No man is an island. Very good. So, I hope you are taking notes and writing once we don't write something, it's easier to forget. Alright, so now we wrote the title of the unit. We're going to speak about the sequence. First sequence is called Discovering Language. Discovering Language. Okay, and I want you to take a moment here and consider this. You know, there are, as you know, every unit in the English syllabus, we find, sequences. And sequences are actually, related to each other, and they are there for a reason. Like here, the first sequence is called Discovering Language, which means that in this sequence you are going to discover new things, right? You are going to discover some things that probably you didn't know before. So, it is, and this is like an advice made to you. Whenever you are studying a sequence with your teacher, try to know what this sequence is about. Okay? So, discovering language. The rubric is think it over. It is actually the first lesson in the unit. Think it over, which means we're going to brainstorm, we're going to think about the unit, we're going to think about what, or to mention or to see the new vocabulary in this unit. So when we say, when we say the unit No Man is an Island, what is it about? Okay? What is it about? Okay. I told you that it means that no one is known. But, okay, we're going to make this a little bit further, okay? When we are not known, what does this mean? Okay, now I'm going to mention some examples. I'm going to write some things on the board. Okay. I'm going to write things on this side of the board. The earthquake of Umidus. Are you familiar with it? It was in 2003. And the tsunami of Indonesia. It was in 2004. And the 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in the USA. Was in 2001. The last thing is what we're actually, as we are living today, as we're suffering from today. It is the recent coronavirus. Okay? Or what is known as COVID-19. Okay? So we think about these examples. I want you to look at them. The earthquake of Umadas, tsunami of Indonesia, the 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, and the coronavirus, or what is known as COVID-19. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. What do these, these events, do they represent? Yes? Can you answer this question? Alright, very good. You can say they are catastrophes. Okay? Remember the word catastrophe. You can say that they are disasters. Okay? Disaster. Or you can say they are calamities. A calamity. Okay? All of these events are actually disasters, calamities, and catastrophes. And if you really consider them, if we deeply consider them, we're going to notice that these disasters are actually, we can categorize them into two categories. Some of them are natural, and others are man-made. So when we say something is natural, another thing is man-made. Okay? Okay, so the earthquake, you know what's an earthquake? It's when the earth trembles. It happened in Bumbadas. Okay? And it was really dangerous. A lot of people were dead, actually, or lots of people died. And tsunami, what is a tsunami? It is when an earthquake actually doesn't happen in land, it happens in water, the sea or the ocean. Okay? And the waves are all, gets high and, trembling. It's very devastating. It happened in Indonesia in 2004, and it killed lots and lots of people. So it was something very terrible. Again, this is also natural. Now the 9/11 terrorist attack. Of course, when we say terrorist attack, now we're saying that, this is something man-made. Okay? That man has something to do with it. And you remember how it happened. I don't know if you can remember this or not. It happened in 2001. The planes, crushed the World Trade Center. It was a disaster, a catastrophe. And the last thing, the coronavirus, COVID-19. Now we're going to speak about this COVID-19 and what does it mean. Okay? So, I'm going to take the CO is alone, and the Y, and the D, and 19. Each of these letters or syllables mean something. So the CO, what do you think? Yeah, very good. Corona. CO stands for corona. VI stands for, very good, virus. And D stands for what? Okay, coronavirus. Yeah? Can you guess? Yes, very, very nice. It stands for disease. Okay? And 19. Any guess? 19. Just for your information, the COVID-19 or coronavirus is not something new. Okay? It happened before. It happened actually in 2003. It was called back then the MERS. Yes, MERS or something. Yeah, I think it was MERS. And in 2012, it was called the SARS virus. And it appeared again. And this late one was very, very, or more dangerous than the others. And it appeared in 2019. And this is what 19 stands for. It stands for 2019. Okay? So, we said that this is natural. Okay? This is a natural catastrophe. This is man-made. What about this? Yeah, do you think it's natural or man-made? Actually, me personally, I don't know. And I think that nobody actually knows, because we, hear things here and there. We read things here and there. And some people say it came from animals, from bats, and I don't know. Okay, some people say that it's like it's conspiracy. Okay, China, versus USA. They are, I don't know. Okay, so I want you to think about it at home. Okay, think about it. And try to classify it, whether it's natural or man-made. Okay, so according to these examples, or we are going to go directly and speak about the meaning of disaster. Okay, I'm going to explain the word disaster. Okay? And in English, if you want to define a word, the first thing you're going to start with is the phonetic transcription. Okay? How do you pronounce this word? Okay? So this is, something very important. Before you go to the definition, before you go to the translation, before you go and search for its synonyms, you need to check the phonetic transcription and to know whether you pronounce it correctly or not. So, and the first thing is to write this slash. Okay? Okay? So we are going to write it. The first sound is the D sound. And one thing is very important here. When I write D, it's not actually D, it's D. Because I'm writing writing it phonetically. Okay? It's not the D. The D is a letter in the alphabet. Okay? And another thing is, what you notice is here there is a capital letter. Okay? But in the phonetic transcription, there is no capital letter. All the letters are like this, small letters. So the D sound and the short E sound is like this, D. And here you find S, but in here it's Z. Because what I hear is the Z. And the difference between the Z and the S, when you hold, right here, you feel vibration when you say Z. Okay? Z. And, okay, disaster. And now there is the sound. It's actually long and when you find these two points like here, it means that it's long. These are, and now there is the S sound, and T sound, and this right here is a schwa. And schwa is the sound of Okay? Disaster. Okay, like this. Okay? So disaster is or is a sudden accident. Okay, sudden accident or a natural catastrophe. Okay. This natural catastrophe or sudden accident causes great damage or loss of lives. Okay, this is the meaning of disaster. Okay? So disaster is a sudden accident or a natural catastrophe that causes great damage or a loss of lives. I'm going to go back here. Okay? What do you notice? Disaster. What do you notice? What does this, what does it miss? There's one thing that you should always remember, is that English language is a stress timed language. Is a stress time language, which means that stress plays an important role in English language, unlike other languages. Okay? If you find, if we think about French, Arabic, there's no stress. The French language, for example, is flat. It's there's the same level of rhythm, of voice. But English, there is stress, which means the ups and downs of the rhythm or the pitch of the voice. So here, where's the stress? Disaster. Disaster. Okay? Of course, stress is in the second syllable. It's here. Disaster. Okay. Very good. So this is the definition of disaster. Now we're going to speak about the synonyms of the word disaster. So the synonym, disaster, as we mentioned earlier, its synonym is catastrophe. Right? And is there another word? I think I mentioned before the other synonym of the word catastrophe and disaster. Yes, very good. It is calamity. Yes, these are very important words, this unit, and you should bear them or keep them in your mind. Okay? Very good. So now we're going to go to an activity. Activity. What is this activity about? I'm going to give you a set of disasters, and you are going to classify them into two categories. Two categories, of course, mean two categories: the natural, those which are caused by nature, those which are caused by man. They're called man. So, classify. Okay, natural and man. Clearly. the disasters are earthquake, oil spill, car accident, flood, and also hurricane. And 1, 2, 3, and the last one is plane crash. Okay? So we're going to draw a table like this and divide it into 2 columns. The first one is natural, the second one man-made. Okay, so I want you to think about it, okay, for a little bit. Okay? So, consider them one by one. First one is earthquake. Earthquake. Like what happened in Fluminense was an earthquake. So, is it natural man-made? Of course, it is natural. So we're going to write it here. Earthquake. Next, oil spill. Oil spill. So, what do you think? This oil was spilled just like that. Did you find this oil, you know? Did nature spill oil? No, of course not. So it is man. Man caused this. Okay? Man is the reason behind oil spill. So, oil spill. Car accident. We all know what is car accident and how bad, terrible it can be, you know, and how terrible it is to have or be in a car accident. And we find this, we always hear in the news, you know, when we read the paper, always, you know, hear about people, you know, having accidents, and it's really, really terrible. But is it natural or man-made? Yeah, very good. Of course, it is man-made because man is driving the car. Okay, the car belongs to them. So, man-made car accident. And flood. Flood. You know, in Bashar, in our town in Bashar in 2008, we knew, or there was really a huge flood that devastated and that destroyed houses, destroyed roads. Okay, here in Bashar in 2008, it's actually when the rain is pouring down, you know, and it is like natural, of course, disaster. Flood. Hurricane. Actually, here in Algeria, we don't know, or hurricanes don't happen to us. But they happen, for example, in America, in USA, for example. There are lots of hurricanes. It's like a huge storm. They destroy, you know, even houses sometimes. So, of course, it's when we say storm, it's natural. Hurricane. And the last one, plane crash. Of course, the plane, you know, the plane falls down. It's terrible. It's a man-made accident. Plane crush. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next lesson.
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.